Welcome back. It is time to get with that TDA, that is. So let's go ahead and get in there. We have gone through almost the entire story, if not the whole thing. And now what we need to do is figure out, okay, do I understand what the prompt was asking? Do I understand what the paragraph that's in response to it? Now, most paragraphs that respond to a TDA in this class are written by me, so they're perfect because I can just take my sweet time with them. This one was actually written by a student, someone who was in seventh grade in a previous year, and then this is the sample that they give all the teachers and students to use. So it won't be as perfect and amazing as the usual TDA samples that you get. But that doesn't mean that we can't break it down a little bit. So what do we got first? We got cause and effect. So right above this hand up here, could you please write cause? And then right over here above this, could you please write effect? Boom. So the passage of Sowing Community focuses on a family's participation in an art project. Write an essay analyzing the effect. Whoa. Looks like we got a highlight effect right there, right? And we're going to highlight effect right here. We got our cause and effect. Write an essay analyzing the effect that the edible landscape project has had on the community. And I'm looking at a community right here. So I'm going to highlight that yellow. And I'm going to put a yellow box around this community right here. There we go. Boom. Use evidence from past to support your response. So one of the biggest reasons the garden was a good idea is that it brought people together. Well, that sounds like community to me. Brought people together. And the reason the garden was a good idea is that so that we got an effect here as well. So I'm going to draw a line from the effect to brought people together. That was one of the effects of the what? The project. The garden. Yes. All right. It raised questions and conversations with neighbors and probably started some friendships. Oh my goodness gracious. That's a nice little bit of context there. I'm going to put a blue box around these neighbors here. I'm going to get neighbors there. They're just having a conversation. It looks like they got the hand in the pocket. You know they're talking good. And friendships, they seem friendly as can be. They host things for the neighborhood like gardening nights and pizza parties. Well, here's a gardening night right here. Gardening at night. Gardening nights and pizza parties. And these have quotes around them. Why? Because they are also all from the article. What article? This article here. There we are. Yes. This garden this noun verb, has allowed human interaction, something thought to be lost in the world of technology that we live in. Ooh, I went deep with that explanation, so I'm going to put a little purple block around there. And I'm going to highlight allowed human interaction. And that's what I'm going to write here too. I'm going to put human interaction. I'll be honest. I wish they would give me a little more room there. All right, anyway. Please take a moment to make sure that your screen looks like Mr. Surface's. Oh, yeah. All right. Next, what evidence best supports the claim? One of the biggest reasons the garden was a good idea is that it brought people together. And we have 4 different examples of evidence. And ooh, lordy, look who's 40. Each one is pretty wordy. So this one is kind of one of those, not a regular multiple choice. This is the sort of PSSA question that takes about 5 minutes to go through. All right. I don't know if it'll take us 5 minutes at this moment since I'm guiding you and I'm 38 years old, but let's see what happens. A quick reminder, this red thumbs up here, that's what you think the right answer is. This purple thumbs down is one that you have a feeling you know is wrong. Same with this purple one here. All right, the question mark is something you have a question about, either in the question itself, or A, B, C, or D, or in the notes that are meant to complement it. And then same with this question mark here. Okay. So one of the biggest reasons the garden was a good idea is that it brought people together. What supports that claim? Catherine has organized Wednesday gardening night so neighbors can gather, pull a few weeds, and help themselves to produce. Well, I can definitely not count that one out, so I don't think that gets a purple. B, they hosted a pizza party on Father's Day. Catherine also hopes to host a sauerkraut making party later in the growing season. That is bringing people together too. C, some people feel very welcome cutting things, others I need to bribe, she said with a laugh. But that doesn't seem to bring people together. That seems like a little more ambiguous. So I'm going to put my purple right there on C. We knew it was cauliflower. We didn't know it was purple. We don't know all the plants. We're waiting for them to reveal themselves. Well, the them that are being revealing are not people. They are plants. So I know C and D are wrong as ever. Now, which one? I'm not sure. Right? If it's saying that the garden was a good idea, cause, and that one of the effects was that Catherine organized a gardening night so neighbors can gather, pull weeds, and help themselves to produce, that does bring people together. Same with hosting a pizza party for Father's Day and hopes to make a sauerkraut making party later in the growing season. It seems to me that both are bringing people together as a result of the garden. However, the one that's more closely connected to the garden is A, whereas B, it's about making sauerkraut. It's a little different. It's about a pizza party, right? It's not like they're growing a pizza tree. You know what I mean? So B is probably the one that shakes people up the most, but A is the correct answer there. Please take a moment to make your screen look like Mr. Surface's. Nice. All right. Let's go ahead and break this down a little bit more, right? This is a Vocaroo activity, and they're writing an essay analyzing the effect of the edible landscape. So you're going to read this red paragraph over here. Then you're going to say, why do you think this was given a high score? This was given a 4 out of 4. Why was it given a 4 out of 4? Well, you're going to record a Vocaroo explaining why you think it got such a high score. All right, if you could please take the time to do that now. What a nice little ditty. All right, so now we're getting ready to get right into the TDA part. We've seen a sample TDA. Now we got to start writing that TDA. We've got a little reminder of what it's all about here. We've got the prompt right there. We know it's got to be 5 paragraphs with a thesis, 3 body paragraphs, and a conclusion. And then we can go ahead and give ourselves a grade afterwards. Subsequent videos will be covering that, as well as the pre-writing that we can do to make sure that we got our heads on straight. All right, everybody.